What's up, YouTube box communities? Boy, Mr. Universe of Sports. I'm back. About to cover that Austin Trout versus Miguel Cotto fight. And this fight happened at 154-pound weight division. And I just want to say, when I first saw Miguel Cotto, like around 2003, 2004, he started his career at 140 pounds. Now, Austin Trout, he started his career at 154 pounds, as always. He's always stayed in that weight division. So, coming into the fight, Austin Trout, it was naturally the bigger man. This is the first time in a long time we've seen a person that came up in weight over time versus a person that's naturally at that weight. And Cotto is not, and Trout rather is naturally the 154 pounder, because for the first time in a long time I seen Cotto get pushed around. When Cotto tried to come in and trying to let him that left hook to the body, Austin Trout would tie him up and push him around, push him off, and that hardly ever happens to Miguel Cotto, or if that ever happened to him. Well, here's what I liked about Austin Trout. If you look at the tail of the tape, this is the first time I always get off the internet or off the Showtime telecast when I do my boxing cards, is that Austin Trout is 5'9" and a half, 5'10", and he has a 5-inch reach advantage over Miguel Cotto. Cotto being 5'7" and have a 67-inch arm inch reach that means he will have to come in and try to bully him or try to come in and have to work harder to get into Austin Trout's body. But we can see at times Cotto had trouble adjusting because of Austin Trout's height and reach advantage. So I like one thing I did like about Trout was he was working off the jab, working off the jab. When Cotto tried to come in, he would throw an uppercut, and that's what I liked about Trout. He used the uppercut. Also, what I liked about Trout was he used the size and strength advantage. He didn't just let Cotto come in and do what he wanted, and also he didn't get intimidated by the crowd at Madison Square Garden. Usually, some people, as a friend from Facebook hit me up. Usually when a fighter faces his first big tough fight or his first fight on the big stage, a young fighter in particular, they get scared and they cower out. But Trout didn't do that. Trout been having experiences going to other people's countries to get fights. He had to beat Canelo's brother in Mexico, in Guadalajara, his home city, to get his WBA regular title in the first place. Somebody please explain to me the difference between the super belt and the regular belt. How does that work out? Super sanctioning bodies. And also, what I liked about Trout was he used the body work. I mean, he showed impressive body work using the long jabs to the body. When Cotto tried to come in, he would throw jabs to the body, and he would tie up and with his free hand throw punches to the body. And that's what I liked about Trout. He didn't get bullied around. He didn't let Cotto do his thing. Now, one thing I didn't like about the champion was the fact that he could have boxed him a little bit more, made it easier. He could have used his jab. He could have used his right jab and set up a left cross a little bit more to keep Cotto at bay. But Cotto's so good at, and he's such a veteran at coming on the inside, that he'll step on your foot just to land a left hook to your face or land a left hook to your body. That's just how Cotto rolls. Now let's bring up the points about Miguel Cotto. The only thing I liked about Cotto was, I scored this fight 116 to 112, 8 rounds for Austin Trout, and I talked to my good friends on the Facebook boxing community that I had Trout winning the unanimous decision, because I think Austin Trout is the better technical boxer between the two, and I think this was a bad style matchup for Miguel Cotto. But Cotto, being the warrior that he is, he'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. But I just think he bit off more than he can chew when fighting Austin Trout. But more on to Miguel Cotto. He tried to work inside, and he had his moments at times, but he didn't like the old Miguel Cotto of old. And some people are attributing the fact that he's thinking about retirement. And you gotta pay attention, read between the lines. When a person is talking about a retirement, saying that, you know what, I should be a full-time dad. I miss my family. I don't know why I trained so much for this. That means the person may have already mentally retired. Now, I'm not trying to say Miguel Cotto mentally retired already, but when a person's talking about retirement, most likely they want to retire secretly. And also, after the first round, what I noticed, this is what I didn't like about Cotto, was the fact that he started to swell already after the first round. Now, Cotto swells too much, and this is the weaknesses I have in my Tell of the tape was that one of his weaknesses that he swells a lot and he cuts easily. He didn't cut, but he swells too much, and that can lead to a lot of problems. And I really think Cotto, after this loss to Trout, should take a long break, if not retire. He's a Hall of Famer. He made his legacy, and I don't want to see the man get hurt. And secondly, he wasn't as accurate as usual. Usually Cotto lands that left hook to the body. Cotto lands more punches. And just recently, when he gave Floyd Mayweather his toughest fight, but he looked like he looked a little out of it and lethargic today. And just tell me what you guys think about the fight. And also, I mean, I'm gonna talk about. I haven't been on in a while, but I've still been watching the fights. I'm gonna talk about touch on the Andre Berto Robert Guerrero fight. Now, some people is blaming the referee. Yes, the referee was calling ticky tack and letting Guerrero get away with whatever. But the last time I checked, is you protect yourself at all times and you fight through it if you're a true champion. And I didn't like the fact that Andre Berto was trying to come out like the Adrian Broner fighting the Philly Shell style. Andre Berto is fast, but it takes a special type of intelligence and a special type of quickness to pull off the Philly Shell. And Andre Berto is, he's fast. He's kind of stiff at times. He didn't have the reflexes to do the Philly Shell, and and people say that Robert Guerrero is not that good, but I think he is one of the more underrated fighters in boxing, along with Austin Trout. And I'm glad to see that Robert Guerrero get the decision. He worked Andre Berto's body to the point where after the fight, Berto bled when he urinated. And that's saying something. When you got hit so hard in your body, and I was impressed with the body work and the punching power of Robert Guerrero in that fight. And I definitely do believe he deserves the Mayweather shot. Now, where do both fighters go from here? The winners, I'm going to go for the winners first, Austin Trout and Robert Guerrero. I think Robert Guerrero obviously deserves. We heard the rumblings that Robert Guerrero was going to fight Timothy Bradley, but for some strange reason, Timothy Bradley will see out of that fight. Bradley thinks he's maybe bigger than what he is right now. He may be doing the Bernard Hopkins like he did in 2001 and letting the golden ticket slip away. So I think from what I'm hearing is Robert Guerrero may get the Mayweather shot, which is good because he deserves a shot for a long time. I'm glad he's getting it. Now for Austin Trout called out Canelo after the fight, and Canelo hurried up and ran out the arena faster than faster than me running from another ticket from the Los Angeles County Sheriffs. But that's another story for the day. But I don't think Trout and Alvarez is going to happen. I think Trout's going to fight somebody like a Kirkland or maybe another fighter at 154. Maybe he could fight Brundage. That'd be a good fight. Austin Trout should just keep building off of this. He's young. He's undefeated. He's 27 years old. They can't deny talent forever. If he keeps on beating good fighters, they'll recognize you eventually. So for him, Austin Trout versus Cornelius Brundage, unify those titles. That way he could be the WBA regular champion and IBF champion. I don't know if they got a super champion or a junior champion or not. I don't get these sanctioning bodies. I mean, now for the losers, I think Miguel Cotto, and we always suggest this with Miguel Cotto. We also have so much respect for him in the YouTube boxing community. He fights everybody. He fights people that don't deserve fights against him. He fights people that's bad stylistic against him. This guy is just a tough SOB. And I think, maybe he should hang up the gloves or maybe take a long break, maybe a year. He's only 32 years old. Recharge his battery, spend time with his family, and maybe decide if he wants to fight again or not. He's a Hall of Famer either way it goes. He doesn't have to fight again to prove himself. Now and what's another loser? I lost my place of thought. Anyway, I'm cutting too long in my video. I don't want it to sound too long-winded. It's your boy, Mr. Universal Sports, and I'm out. Peace. Have a good night.